CSGO, Astralis. Astralis are widely regarded as the greatest dynasty of Counter-Strike history. This Danish squad didn't just win tournaments, they dominated entire eras. Between 2017 and 2019, Astralis racked up 4 majors, including E-League Atlanta 2017, FACEIT London 2018, IEM Katowice 2019, and StarLadder Berlin 2019. They also became the first team to win 3 majors in a row, a feat that still stands. And if that weren't enough, they completed the inaugural Intel Grand Slam in December 2018, winning 4 flagship events within 10 consecutive ESL/DreamHack tournaments, and walked away with a cool $1 million bonus. Astralis didn't just win, they defined meta shifts. They introduced a utility-heavy, methodical style. Grenades used for map control instead of blind spam, coordinated smokes, flashes, and timed aggression. Their roster that includes Device, Dupree, Xyp9x, Glaive, and Magisk, all ranked top 20 globally in 2018. They held the #1 spot in the world rankings for 406 days straight, and logged more than 89 weeks at #1 total. Other teams close to Astralis? Some might point to Na'Vi or Fnatic, but consider this: no team has matched their 4 major count, their consecutive major streak, or their era of sustained dominance. Astralis set the bar high. They won the big ones. They changed how the game was played, and for a long time, they were untouchable.
League of Legends, T1. I mean, isn't it obvious? 5 world championships from 2013, 2015, 2016, 2023, and 2024, and a record number of domestic LCK titles. Barely any other organization have managed to win 2 worlds, and T1 did it back-to-back, twice. That's insane. But it's not just the trophies. T1's popularity reaches far beyond esports fans, and the heart of T1 itself, their star mid laner Lee Faker Sung-hyuk, is widely regarded as the GOAT of not just League of Legends, but esports as a whole. Yes, the GOAT of esports. Even casual gamers know his name. T1's social media engagement is off the charts. Their matches pull multi-million viewers globally, and their brand recognition often rivals traditional sports in Korea. He's not just a star, he's a global icon who's appeared in commercials, featured in esports documentaries, and drawn the kind of mainstream crossover few gamers ever see. Meanwhile, the organization has cultivated talent, brand partnerships, and community engagement to a level that's rare in esports. What puts them a step above other giants like Samsung Galaxy or Edward Gaming isn't just one era of dominance, it's sustained success across nearly a decade. Unlike many teams whose peaks fade, T1 has stayed relevant, and often ahead every season. So when you ask who the greatest team in League of Legends esports history is, everyone already knows the answer. Instead, you should ask who the second greatest team in League history is, and you'll get a more interesting argument.
Valorant, Fnatic.
When they entered Valorant in early 2021, few predicted how quickly they'd ascend. By March 2023, Fnatic were crowned the first ever VCT lock-in champions, going undefeated in the knockout stage and defeating teams like Loud 3-2 in the grand final. The same Loud spearheaded by arguably the GOAT, Aspas, that have just won the champions last year. Then in June 2023, they captured VCT Masters Tokyo, defeating Evil Geniuses and lifting $350,000 in prize money, taking them above $900,000 in total earnings and now over $2 million, the highest in Valorant to date. Their dominance didn't fade. In the EMEA 2025 Stage 1, Fnatic swept Team Heretics in the finals, showing they still carry the elite competition.
Their roster, that consists of legendary players like Alphair, Boaster, Chronicle, Durkee, Leo, plus an extremely promising rookie in Kayak, became synonymous with consistent excellence. Multiple international titles, a near-perfect regional run, going 9-0 in the EMEA regular season in 2023, though losing to Team Liquid in the finals. But there are teams that are close. Sentinels were the first international champions, winning VCT Masters Reykjavik in 2021 and setting early records. Paper Rex have exploded onto the scene and grabbed international titles and earnings. Edward Gaming claimed the crown at VCT Champions 2024, becoming the first Chinese to lift the trophy, plus their domination over their region. All 3 are elite, but neither has matched Fnatic's blend of peak performance, dominance, sustained consistency, and brand value. Dota 2 OG.
It started in 2015, and just months later, this relatively new squad shocked the world by winning the Frankfurt Major, the first Valve-sponsored Dota 2 major. Over the next 2 years, they piled up majors: Manila Major 2016, Boston Major 2016, Kiev Major 2017, each time showing up when it mattered most. Then came the moment of legend. In August 2018, at the International 2018, OG entered through open qualifiers after having lost 2 of their key players, Fly and S4, and barely expected to make waves. They got Ana out of his hiatus and Topson just months before the event. Yet, they took down PSG LGD to claim their first Aegis of Champions. Just a year later, at TI9 in 2019, they made history again. They became the first team ever to win the international back-to-back, defeating Team Liquid for their second straight title. Their roster could be described as a constellation of Dota legends. Captain No-Tail is currently the highest-earning esports player from a single game. Topson, a rookie-turned-world champion. Players like Seb and Jerax brought veteran poise and clutch performance when it counted most. Don't forget Ana, who, quote, doesn't even know what the F is going on, yet still manages to carry OG to both TI wins.
There are other great teams in Dota 2 history. Teams like Team Secret, Evil Geniuses, or even PSG LGD have had legendary moments and multiple title wins. And as far as the international title goes, Team Spirit and Team Liquid also has that. But no teams have both a multitude of majors and a back-to-back internationals in their resume. So right now, OG's legacy is still too strong to be knocked out of the all-time #1 spot just yet. Call of Duty, OpTic Gaming. Back in August 2017, OpTic Gaming captured the prestigious Call of Duty World League Championship 2017, beating Team Envious to claim the top spot. Their dominance traces back further. They won the CWL 2017 Global Pro League Stage 2, the Stage 1 finals of the CWL North America in 2016, the MLG World Finals in 2015, and the Call of Duty XP all the way back in 2011. Not to mention all their wins as OpTic Texas, locking in their status as one of COD's elite. Rival teams competed for trophies, they competed for relevance. The revival in 2025 was something to behold, sweeping the Esports World Cup 2025 Call of Duty Black Ops 6 with a flawless 4-0 final versus Vancouver Surge, taking home $600,000 and proving they were far from finished. Teams like FaZe Clan, Dallas Empire, and Luminosity deserves a mention for their share of big wins and relevance, but in a game defined by cycles and shifting metas, OpTic's ability to stay relevant, from Modern Warfare 3 to Black Ops 6, is what gives them the edge over every other team. Rainbow Six Siege, G2 Esports. The European powerhouse and G2 Esports are widely considered the greatest Rainbow Six Siege team of all time, and there's a good reason why. It began in August 2018 when they acquired the roster of Pentasports and immediately made a statement by winning the 6 Major Paris with a flawless run, dropping just 1 map the whole tournament, completely undefeated in the playoffs. Then they followed it up in February 2019 at the 6 Invitational, sweeping Team Empire in the finals 3-0 and cementing their dynasty in the Siege scene. Their roster consists of Pengu, Fabian, Goga, Kanto, and Jinsky, usually referred to as Eunice, and no, not Jinxie. They were more than stars, they are legends. Their teamwork, utility usage, vertical play, stifling defense setups, and clutch aggression changed how Siege was played. Teams like BDS, FaZe Clan, and W7M might be great as well, but G2's records and players' greatness put them above everyone else. They set standards, raised the bar, and forced the rest of Pro Siege to catch up. PUBG Mobile, Nova Esports. In an esport title where tournaments have so much more teams participating, sometimes up to 50, this Chinese powerhouse dominated the mobile battle royale as if there were only a handful of teams playing. In late 2020, they claimed the inaugural PUBG Mobile Global Championship 2020, topping the leaderboard with 319 points and 151 kills, and pocketed the biggest prize pool in PUBG Mobile history to that date. Then, just a year later, they became the first team ever to win the global title back-to-back, when they took the PMGC 2021 crown with 222 points and 101 eliminations. And that run came with $1.5 million in prize money and MVP honors for their star attacker, Order. So from 2020 into 2021, they were untouchable, consistently ranking high on Peacekeeper Elite Leagues during that period. Their roster of Paraboy, Order, Jimmy, and Coolboy, their tactics and clutch performances rendered rivals almost irrelevant.
But by 2022, the tide turned. At the PUBG Mobile Global Championship 2022, they stumbled, finishing 9th overall, far from the summit they previously ruled. The gap reflects how once dominant teams can be overtaken when opponents adapt and new challengers emerge. Teams like Weibo Gaming, Tianba, even Reject and Alpha 7 for their regional dominance deserves a mention. But even though their prime are no longer here, the legacy of Nova Esports as the greatest team of all time has still yet to be dethroned. MLBB Team Liquid PH. Known as the strongest MLBB region, the Philippines houses several legendary teams. Bren, Blacklist International, but perhaps the greatest of them all are Echo/Team Liquid PH. An M-Series title, an MSC title just last season, and 4 MPL PH titles within the last 6 seasons, on a region famously known to be hardest, with even some saying it's harder to win an MPL PH title than an M-Series title. Their roster are a bunch of overachievers. Carl Teasy, Sanford, and Sanji has been together since the M4 Echo days, winning all of their MPL PH, M-Series, and MSC titles together. JP came to replace Yaoi in Season 12, and though he got some flack for underperforming and accused of getting the position because the team's manager is his wife, he proved everyone wrong by winning the Season 16 Finals MVP. And finally, Oheb, their gold laner, was the gold laner of Blacklist International, Echo's rival, but joined TLPH after Blacklist disbanded. He won everything in his 2 seasons with Liquid. And they didn't just win. The fashion in which they won their titles are downright oppressive. Their M4 MPL PH Season 11, 13, and 16 wins all came from a 4-0 sweep in the Grand Finals. But they also have proven to be able to win in clutch games, beating OpTic PH in a Game 7 in Season 15. There are other teams deserving of a mention here. OpTic ID have won 7 out of the 15 MPL ID seasons so far, not to mention their 2 MSC titles. Bren has won 2 M-Series titles, but only 1 for MPL, and Blacklist has won M3 and 3 MPL PH. Impressive, but none as much as Echo/Team Liquid PH.
Apex Legends TSM. From the early preseason invitational win in 2019 through their crowning moment at the ALGS Championship in 2023, this North American powerhouse has grown into the benchmark. And on one particular tournament is where their greatest moment occurred. ALGS 2023 Finals TSM, with Imperial Hao, Reps, and Verhulst started the event performing relatively well, placing top 20 in points in the group stage to advance to the winner's bracket, where they placed 5th with a total of 49 points. But in the Grand Finals, they started inconsistent, and were as low as 13th place by the 5th game. But then the unthinkable happened. They won Game 6 with 6 kills, sending them all the way up to 7th place. Then they won Game 7 with 7 kills, a back-to-back first place on a stacked lobby. All of a sudden, they are match point eligible, only needing 1 more first place to seal the deal. And for the 8th game, they won again. 3 straight first place finishes, this time with 12 kills, and they win the trophy. You can't get more great than that. Sure, there are other teams who have also won an ALGS championship. Dark Zero Esports, Go Next Esports, even Alliance and Team Falcons has impressive resume from other title wins, but none nearly as great as TSM.
Brawl Stars, ZETA Division, there's really just no argument for any other Brawl Stars team other than ZETA Division. Formerly known as Jupiter, in 2021, as Jupiter, the roster of Site Tanpo, Tenzai, and Achapi won 6 out of the 8 East Asia monthly finals, sweeping most of the finals matchup and easily qualifying to the 2021 World Finals. There, they never dropped more than 1 set in a single series, beating everyone either 3-0, 3-1, or 4-1. Then, in 2022, they split into 2 teams, ZETA Division 0 and ZETA Division 1. And the crazy thing is, both of them matched up against each other in the grand finals of the Worlds that year. That's ridiculous how overpowered they were. But in 2023, their roster leaves for Crazy Raccoon, and the org signed the Chasmac Gaming EU roster last year.
And guess what? Even with a completely different roster in a completely different region, they still won the 2023 World Finals. 3 World Championships in a row with 3 different rosters, from the Japanese Mechanical Wizards to ZETA Division 0 to the Polish ZETA Division. It'll be a very long time before other teams like Humble can catch up to them.